Hormone replacement therapy won't fix your gut. If your gut fell apart during perimenopause or menopause and everyone pointed at your hormones, they're not seeing the full picture. Maybe you already tried hormone replacement and maybe you felt a little better, but the urgency and the diarrhea are still there, and nobody has explained why fixing the hormones did not fix the gut. After working with over 500 women with chronic diarrhea, I kept seeing the same thing. The perimenopause timing was real, but when I ran advanced testing on these women, what I found had nothing to do with hormones. What I kept finding was that these women had a gut problem long before perimenopause started. They just didn't know it yet. I'm going to show you why the hormone story feels so convincing, what was actually happening in their gut the whole time, and what to do for your situation. The perimenopause story goes like this. Your gut was fine in your 30s, you hit 45, 50, or somewhere in that range, and your hormones started shifting, and suddenly your gut was a disaster. Diarrhea out of nowhere, urgency after every meal, cramping and bloating that had never been there before. The timing was obvious. Everyone pointed to the same thing. Your hormones changed, your gut changed, therefore hormones changed your gut. That logic makes sense. Estrogen and progesterone do have real effects on the gut that we'll look at in a moment, but what that explanation leaves out is the question of what was already happening inside the gut before the hormones shifted. What I see way too often is that hormones get the blame when it was actually an invisible gut problem long before perimenopause. Because here's the thing about the gut, it can be really messed up without showing any symptoms for a long time. Gut health is an intricate balance, and while one part of the gut is really struggling, other parts might compensate for a little while until they can't anymore. And only focusing on hormones is like changing the band-aid on a wound that won't heal. So we'll see that hormones were not causing a healthy gut to fail. They were just providing a buffer that was keeping a struggling gut functional enough to seem like it was fine. Here's how that works. Estrogen and progesterone are not just reproductive hormones. They do a lot of work inside the gut that most people never hear about. Estrogen helps regulate inflammation in the digestive tract. It supports the integrity of the gut lining. It calms the immune response inside the gut. Progesterone influences how quickly food moves through. So together they create a genuinely stabilizing effect in the gut. So here's what that means in practice. If harmful bacteria are slowly overgrowing, if beneficial bacteria are becoming depleted, inflammation is building, estrogen and progesterone can compensate for that. They buffer the dysfunction. The gut lining stays functional enough. The immune system stays calm. The symptoms stay manageable enough that nobody goes looking for a problem. Then perimenopause or menopause hit. Those hormones started fluctuating and declining. The stabilizing effect declines with them. And the gut that had been struggling underneath the surface, held together by hormonal support for years, loses that support. That's when the diarrhea starts. That's when the urgency appears. Not because the hormones broke something new, but because they were the thing holding together what finally gave way. This is why so many women describe their gut as completely fine until perimenopause or menopause. Their gut was not fine. Their hormones were doing extra work to keep it looking fine. So what was actually going on inside the gut the whole time? When I run advanced functional testing on women who developed chronic diarrhea during perimenopause or menopause, the findings are specific and consistent. Overgrowths of harmful bacteria like Proteus, Klebsiella, Enterococcus, these bacteria produce toxins that irritate the gut lining, and they trigger the immune system to speed everything up. That is where the urgency comes from. Your body's not malfunctioning, it's trying to flush something out. At the same time, the beneficial bacteria are severely depleted. These are the species that produce butyrate, which feeds the cell's lining of the colon and keeps the gut barrier sealed. Without them, the lining is weak. Those toxins, those harmful bacteria are producing get into the bloodstream. The immune system detects them and it mounts a response, and that response drives more inflammation, which means more urgency. On top of that, yeast overgrowth in many cases, parasites in some, and the secretory IgA, your gut's frontline immune protein, severely depleted in almost every one of these women. Every one of those findings is measurable with the right test. None of them show up on a colonoscopy. None of them show up on standard blood work, not because they weren't there, but because nobody used a test that was designed to look for them. So ask yourself these questions. Did you have any gut symptoms before perimenopause, even mild ones that you brushed off? Occasional bloating after eating, looser stools some mornings, feeling gassy with certain foods, anything that was present but it was easy to ignore? Did hormone therapy help your gut symptoms, but only partially or only for a while? Meaning you felt a little better, but the urgency and diarrhea never fully resolved. Have you done extensive hormone work, labs, therapy, supplements, HRT, and your gut is still not right despite normalized hormone levels? Does your gut behave badly regardless of what you eat? Meaning eating low FODMAP or elimination diets have not produced lasting improvement. Have you been told that your gut results look normal, that nothing shows up on colonoscopy or standard blood work, while you are still running to the bathroom multiple times a day? If you answered yes to most of those, here is what your story probably looks like. You had some mild digestive quirks in your 40s that you attributed to stress or aging. When perimenopause hit, those quirks became urgent and unpredictable. And now you are years into treating a hormone problem in a gut that has never actually been addressed at the level where the dysfunction lives. If that is your pattern, the hormone story did not give you the wrong treatment. It gave you an incomplete one. Hormones can provide some relief because they do influence gut inflammation and motility, but they can't eliminate a bacterial overgrowth. They can't replace depleted keystone bacteria. They can't repair a compromised gut lining. So you get partial improvement and then you plateau. And then everyone assumes the problem is the hormones still being off rather than asking what the hormones were never designed to fix. What I find when I actually look inside the gut in these cases is specific enough to build a real treatment plan around. Here is what that looks like. If you want more videos that actually explain what is driving your gut symptoms and why the standard explanations keep falling short, subscribe. This channel is specifically for women who have done everything right and they're still not better. That is exactly the audience that I make these for. The first thing I do with every client is create an environment in the gut that is hard for harmful bacteria, yeast, parasites to thrive in. We're not killing anything yet. We're just making it inhospitable. Specific foods that are easy to digest, calming, not feeding the problem. Most women notice fewer bowel movements within the first week or two from this alone. While that's happening, we run the advanced testing. That test looks at bacterial species, yeast, parasites, short-chain fatty acids, pH, immune markers. When those results come back, we have a specific map, not a guess, an actual map. Then we address what we find, and the order matters. If you go after pathogens before the gut environment is ready, it can actually make things worse. The gut has to be in the right state before you start clearing things out. We also work alongside the nervous system from the very beginning. Women who have been afraid of the bathroom for years are running on high alert constantly. Their cortisol's elevated, the body's in survival mode, and a body in survival mode does not heal well. So calming the nervous system is not optional. It runs alongside gut work from day one. Hormones absolutely have a place here. Estrogens, anti-inflammatory effects can support the gut environment while it's healing, but as a support layer on top of a targeted protocol, not instead of one. When these advanced tests come back, it's unlike anything you've ever seen before. Not a normal range with a check mark next to it, not everything looks fine. You're looking at actual numbers next to each bacterial species in your gut, and some of those numbers are off the charts in the wrong direction. You're seeing beneficial species listed as absent or critically low, species that you've never heard of that turn out to be the exact reason your gut lining is not holding together. Butyrate levels are low, the compound that literally feeds the cells lining your colon. Sometimes you're seeing a parasite listed by name that has been living in your gut maybe for years that never showed up on a single test your doctor ran. And suddenly the diarrhea is not a mystery anymore. It has a name, usually several names, and each one has a specific solution. Your hormones did not break your gut. They were just holding it together. Now you know the difference, and that changes everything about what to do next. If this video helped you understand what's actually going on, watch this one next.